Good morning, children. Today we are going to look at computer and introduction. In this lesson, we are going to learn about features of computer, input unit and output unit, CPU, hardware and software, generations of computer. So before we enter into the class, let's see what is meant by computer. If I say this word, immediately comes in your mind, it is an electronic device. You might have learned in your smart classes itself. Computer is an electronic device. So why it is called electronic device? It is made up of an electronic equipment and it is a machine. It doesn't think as its own like human being, isn't it? So that's why we are saying computer is an electronic device. And also computer understand only the machine language. So what is called a machine language? Zeros and ones are called a machine language. Now we humans speaking English, Tamil, or we could speak some other languages, but computer understand only machine language. So what is to be done? It has to be translated by the help of interpreter. Otherwise computer does not understand our language. So next, what is the main job of computer? It receives input from the user and process it as per the instruction given by the user. Then it will produce output on the screen. You might be seeing computer brings many changes in all the industries. Computers are used in hospitals, education, supermarket and banking. So what is the purpose? Computers are used in banks. It is mainly used for financial transaction at banks. At education, it is used for teaching or maintaining the staff details and student details. Supermarket, it is mainly used for calculating the bill and maintaining the customer details. Hospitals, it is used for maintaining the inpatient and outpatient records. So why I am saying here, it brings many changes in all the fields. So next we are going to see the features of computer. First one, speed. A computer carry out 2 or 3 million instruction per second. Accuracy. It produce very accuracy result. If we do calculation manually, we do some mistakes, but computer does not do any mistake. So it produce very accurate results. So next one, reliability. So what is meant by reliability? It will do repeated tasks without getting any tiredness. Next one, versatility. So what is meant by versatility? It will do multitasking and also at a time we can hear the music and also we can able to work with the computer. That is called versatility. And also a computer do a wide range of work for us. We can create a document by the help of computer. We can book railway tickets or airline tickets within our place. Within our place, we can able to see what happening in the world by the help of computer. Isn't it? It is called versatility. Next one, storage capacity. Storage capacity is the important feature of computer. Why? Because it stores large amounts of data in a small space. Even you can able to store 1000 employee details in a small amount of space. I hope you all understand this concept. At this right side, I have given you a picture. Can you guess who is he? Yes, you are correct. His name is Charles Babbage, who has developed the basic structure of the computer and also who found the difference engine. The difference engine is the forerunner of our today's computer. That's why we call him as father of computer. Next, I will move to the next slide. Here, as you can see the parts of the computer. A computer has got a monitor, keyboard, mouse, headphone, printer, speaker, CPU. You know that well. Now I am going to separate it as input device and output device. There are many input devices are available. Keyboard, mouse, camera, touch screen, scanner, MICR. There are many output devices are there. Speaker, plotter, printer, headphones. But in this slide I have given you a few important parts. So first let us see one by one. Frequently used input devices are called keyboard and mouse. You know that a standard keyboard has 104 keys. It is a combination of alphabetics and numbers and special keys. Special keys are sometimes called helper keys. So why it is called helper keys? Control key, shift key, caps lock key, those keys are called helper keys. So next, at the top of the keyboard you have a lot of functional keys. So next one, this is a mouse. By the help of mouse you can point out the icons on the monitor. This mouse have two buttons. Usually we use left mouse button to open the folder or clicking any files. Right mouse button is used for selecting the particular options. So next one, speaker. Speaker is an output device. It is used to produce audio output. So next one, monitor. Monitor, you know that well, it is one kind of output device. It is used to display the output on the screen. So next one, headphone is also an output device. It is also produce audio output but without disturbing others. Next, printer. Printer is an output device. By the help of printer we can able to take print. There are color printers and black and white printers are available. By color printers you can able to take a color printouts. CPU is the processing device. So whatever we receive through the keyboard that will be processing by the CPU, then we will be getting output through the monitor. Shall we remember once? Keyboard and mouse are belongs to input device. Monitor, speaker, headphone, printer are belongs to output device. CPU are belongs to processing device. Next I will move to the next slide. So in this slide I have given you a simple flow of diagram. So in this I have given input, process and output. So this is simply called IPO cycle. So what is meant by IPO cycle? Because whatever the instruction we give through the keyboard, that is considered to be a input. Actually input is also called as a data. So what is meant by data? Data is a raw facts. It may be a combination of numbers or alphabetical letters or symbols or whatever we enter through the keyboard, that everything is called a data. So a computer receives data from the user, so that is called a input. Then that has to be processed by the help of CPU, that is called a process. So next, output. What is meant by output? After the process we will be getting an result, so that is called a output. Here I have given a real-time example. For example, whenever your mother want to prepare a juice, how does she make juice? First she will take all the ingredients to make a juice, isn't it? So that ingredients are called input. That has to be processed by the mixie for grinding. So the grinding process is called a process. Then finally you will be getting a delicious juice. That is called a output. So in the same way a computer will work. I hope you all understand this. Next we will move to the next slide. So in this I have given you a very important units. These all the units you should remember in your mind. Input unit. Devices used to input data and instruction. So what are the devices are there? You know that keyboard and mouse are the frequently used input devices. So through that device we can able to give input. So next one, output unit. Devices used to provide information to the user in desired format. I told you already, we can get output as per the instruction given by the user. Next, control unit. As the name itself you can understand the meaning. Control unit, it control all parts of the computer, and also this control unit collaborates with all the devices. Let us see what they have given in this slide. All devices or parts of the computer interact through the control unit, because this control unit only sends signals to the parts. Next, arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic. What is the meaning of arithmetic? Arithmetic means mathematics. So this arithmetic perform all the mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Then what is meant by logic? It will do the comparison activity. For example, if you want to compare any two numbers, you wanted to know which is greater than these two numbers, so it will produce any number according to the data. So that is called a logic unit. So totally this is called a arithmetic logic unit. Simply we used to say ALU. Next one, memory unit. So memory unit is very important in the CPU because whatever we type it in the keyboard, it will be stored in the memory. So memory units plays major role in a computer. There are two types of memories are there. One is primary memory and secondary memory. Next I will move to the next slide. So in this slide, here you can see a block diagram of CPU. If I say this word CPU, immediately comes in your mind brain of the computer, because the CPU is compared with the brain. Why it is compared with the brain? Can we think without brain? No, we couldn't able to think without brain. As well as a computer does not process without CPU. So here we have an input device, here we have an output device. However, the CPU is separated as three specific units. One is control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory unit. In the previous slide I have told you about the control unit. What is the use of this control unit? This control unit controls all parts of the computer. What is the use of this arithmetic and logical unit? It performs mathematical activities. It carry out the mathematical activities. Next, memory unit is used to store the data. So let us see the diagram clearly. So input device. So through the keyboard or mouse will be entering the data that enter into the CPU for processing. Then finally you will be getting a output. So this control unit gives signals to all parts of the computer. First, control unit gives signal to the input device that to get value from the user. Then control unit gives signal to the arithmetic logic unit to perform mathematical operation on that particular input data. Next, this control unit gives signal to the memory unit to store those values. So next, this control unit gives signal to the output device to display the output on the monitor. So who is doing this all the activity? Control unit. I hope you all understand this diagram clearly. Next, I will move to the next slide. Next, hardware and software. A computer is made up of two important components. One is hardware and software. Hardware. What is meant by hardware? All the physical components of the computers are called hardware. These parts you can able to touch and feel. So some of the hardware devices I have given here: keyboard, mouse, CPU, printer, speaker, motor. Can you touch the keyboard? Yes. Can you touch the CPU? Yes, you can able to touch. But some hardware devices are available inside the CPU that we couldn't see, but that is also a hardware devices. So let us tell you, SMPS, motherboard, hard disk, those parts are called hardware devices. So next one, software. A collection of programs is called software. You may get doubt here. What is meant by program? For example, in the previous slide I have told you whatever the keys we press in the keyboard, it will be appears on the monitor. So how it is possible? Because many programs, many software programs are embedded in the CPU. That's why if you press any keys in the keyboard, it will be appearing on the monitor. Otherwise, even if you have a keyboard, even if you have a CPU, we cannot able to do any work. So how it is possible? This all the work has done by the software. So the software is collection of programs. There are two kinds of softwares are there: system software and application software. As the name itself, they have mentioned system software. So it is very important to the computer, or we can say it gives soul to the computer. Next, I will move to the next slide. Software required to run the hardware parts of the computer. For example, if you want to take printout, we will think we can take print by the help of printer machine. Actually, it's not true. Hardware or software having inside the computer, the system software has to give permission to access the printer. Then we can able to use a printer. And also when you switch on the computer, the first software loading into the computer, For example, operating system. Simply we call it as OS. So in your computer, if you're not installing OS, we cannot able to work with the computer, because this operating system hold the application software. This operating system communicate with the hardware at very basic level. So it is very important to the computer. Next, application software. Application software is used to performing a particular task in the program. For example, nowadays we are using Zoom app for taking online class, isn't it? So what is the purpose of that Zoom app? You can able to communicate with lot of people for sharing the lessons, isn't it? So it will do the particular task. So that is called the application software. And also I have given you a few example here. MS Word. You know what is the purpose of MS Word? In this MS Word we can able to type a word, or we can able to edit a word. So next, Paint. Paint is an application. In this Paint we can able to draw the picture or color a picture. Next, Adobe Photoshop. What is the purpose of this Adobe Photoshop? There you can create a image or edit a image. What is the purpose of game? It is used for playing games. So now why I have mentioned this, all these things, it will do the particular task. MS Word is an application, it will do the specific task. Okay, we cannot able to play game by the help of MS Word. Okay, so next I will move to the next slide. Generations of computer. So every computer is differed by their size, speed and efficient. First generation computers were used vacuum tubes between 1940 to 1956. They were very big in size and consumed more power and malfunction due to overheat. What is meant by malfunction? Sometimes it will produce the failure outputs, that is called the malfunction. Next, machine language was used. Machine language means zeros and one language. For example, if you want to type any document, we used English for typing the document, or Tamil we will use, but a computer understand only the machine language. I told you already. So zeros and one combination. So that languages were used at the first generation. For example, ENIAC is the first generation computer. So next, here they have given a few vacuum tubes in this picture. This vacuum tubes consist of a bulb and wire. This wire carries the data through the electric signal. Next, I'll move to the next slide. Second generation were used transistor in between 1956 to 1963. Now I am going to compare the first generation and second generation computer. Generator, it produced less heat compared than the first generation. Next, it consumed less power compared than the first generation. And first generation computer, I told you, they were used machine language. Here instead of machine language, they were used the assembly language. What is meant by assembly language? It is a set of instructions given to the computer. Next, I will move to the next slide. Third generation computers were used integrated circuits. So at this time, computers were smaller, faster and more reliable. I told you the meaning of reliable. A computer performs the repeated activity without getting any tiredness. So that is called a reliable. So next, it is consumed less power. High level languages were introduced. So nowadays we are using the different kind of languages, C#, Java, C++. At present we are using Python language. So that period they were used COBOL and Fortran languages. So those languages are called high level languages. So next we are going to see the fourth generation computer between 1972 to 2010. Microprocessor. Simply we call it as MIPI. It is very important generation because this microprocessor gave birth to the microcomputers. So what is meant by microcomputers? Laptops, workstation, desktop, next PCs and personal digital assistant, or we can say pin based computers. So those computers were introduced at this time. Portable computer were introduced. It were very smaller and faster compared than the remaining three generation. So how it is made? It contains a silicon chip and also it contains thousands of circuit around it. So next one, fifth generation computer. At present we are using a fifth generation computer, and also our scientists are still researching the fifth generation computers. So far we have discussed about the basics of the computer. So now I am going to enter into your textbook. So in this book they have given the conversation between two people. Let us see what they spoke. Mom, I received an SMS about a computer course in summer holidays. Kyle Willie says to his mother that she has received one message. Next, mother, is it Kyle? Do you wish to join the course? Her mother says. So next one, Kyle Willie. Yes, mom. Yesterday our teacher told us that computers play a vital role in our day-to-day life. So it is a need of the hard to learn computer. So already I told you, a computer plays important role in every places, because we can't imagine our life without computer at present. So next, Amudan. What are you saying, Kyle? Do we use computer in our daily life? Yes, of course. Have you not noticed? Kyle Willie says to his Amudan. So next one, sister. I have seen it in a few places. Can you say where do we use computer in day-to-day life? That we have discussed in the first slide itself. Computers are used in different places: education purpose, hospitals, banks, supermarkets, various places we are using a computer. Do you remember yesterday our dad used ATM card to withdraw money when he was running out of cash? Yes, it is correct. ATM card also we can able to take money by the help of computer. So next one, yes sister, I do remember that ATM machine works with the help of a computer only. Oh, is it so, sister? Not only that, most of the bills of our daily purchases are computer generated ones. You might be seeing whenever you're going to the supermarket, they will be giving you a computerized bill by the help of computer, isn't it? So they were used in the supermarket also for calculating the bill. So next one, do we have these two usages only? No, Amudan. We use computers either directly or indirectly in our life. For example, we can see them at use in banks, hospitals, post offices, transport, market, media. What is the purpose of using a computer in media? For applying the graphical designs. So next one, defense sector, education, space research, and so many other fields as well. Computer plays an important role in our lives, so we should learn to operate a computer. Those things all we have discussed in the previous slide itself. So next one, here they have given the formal definition of computer. Let us see line by line. Computer is an electronic device which manipulates and stores the data and information through commands or program codes. Already I told you, a computer is a machine. It will work as per the instruction. Sometimes we used to say, if computer makes any mistakes, that's not a computer mistake, because we have to give the proper instruction to the computer. Otherwise it won't give the proper output. The computer that was designed in the year 1946 was equivalent to the size of huge classroom. So nowadays we are using laptops and desktop computers. So that is very smaller in size, but in ancient days it was very big in size. When compared to the computers of earlier stages with today, the size is minimized. But the efficiency and speed has increased infinitely, like Nokia mobile and Android mobile. So both mobiles are used for same purpose, for communicating information from one person to another person. What is the difference between that Nokia mobile and Android mobile? It has some additional features compared than the Nokia mobile. As well as we have seen a lot of different kind of computers. So each computers will differ according to their size, capacity and efficiency. The size and shape of the computer has been modified on the basis of our need. Next, generally the computer operates by the exchange of commands between the hardware and software. I told you already, if you want to take printout, a software has to give permission to the hardware. Then only we can able to take a printout. You may get doubt in this. How the software give instruction to the hardware we cannot able to see. This all happen within a fraction of second. So next one, hardware I told you already, it can be touched and felt because we can able to touch the keyboard, mouse. So those are called hardware. So next, history of computer. Nowadays we can find computers in many forms like desktop, laptop, palm top. We can easily hold in our hands. So next, this kind of transformation in data handling and processing has happened over a long period of time. Let us know about the advancement of computer here. Next, I will move to the next slide. ENIAC. It is called enumerated, integrated and calculator. A computer had approximately 18,000 vacuum tubes. So these vacuum tubes we have discussed in the first generation computer. This vacuum tubes consist of bulb and wires. These wires carry the data through the electric signal. The size occupied by the ENIAC could be equivalent to a classroom. Compare than the today's generation, we are using a small sized computer. Around 2000 years ago, the people of China used abacus. Who used this? China peoples used this abacus. Actually, abacus was the first calculating device. So that time they were used only for calculating purpose, like addition, subtraction and multiplication they were did. This was considered as the most basic model of a computer, and also a computer didn't come directly from abacus because it has met lot of generation that we have discussed in the previous slides. 19th century was considered as the birth of the computer when Charles Babbage designed the basic construction of the computer. So who found the basic construction of the computer, that's why we call him as father of the computer. So next one, ENIAC is the first generation computer. What is the full form of ENIAC? I told you, enumerated, integrated and calculator, which was used by the American military in 1946. Where it is used? American military to predict the trajectory of artillery cells. Trajectory of artillery cells means to find the path of the bomb shells. Recognized as the world's first general purpose computer. So which is considered to be a world's first general purpose computer? ENIAC. So next one, Lady Augusta Ada Lovelace was honored as the first programmer. Who is the first programmer? Augusta Ada Lovelace was considered to be a first programmer who develops the program. So I told you the importance of program already. So without program we cannot able to do anything in the computer because a computer works as per the instruction. So next, already we have discussed the generation of computer. Once again we will go through this. The history of computer has been classified into many stages. So what are the stages we have discussed? We have discussed the 4 generation computer. Today that we use 5th generation computers. The main difference between the generation is the speed, efficiency of the computer. On the basis of the performance and speed, the generations of the computer was categorized. So which is considered to be a first generation computer? Vacuum tubes. So which is considered to be a second generation computer? Transistor. So which is considered third generation computer? Integrated circuit. So which is considered the 4th generation computer? Microprocessor. So next one, 5th generation computers are considered to be a artificial intelligence because our scientists still developing the 5th generation computer. They might have the capacity of thinking as its own. So next one, data. So what is meant by data? It is a combination of raw facts, or we can say it is a combination of alphabets and numbers but unprocessed. So that is called a data. So what are the way we will enter into the data? Through keyboard or mouse we will give data to the computer. Data is a set of values of qualitative and quantitative variables. So why they are mentioning here variables? It is a combination of numeric and non-numeric. Data that is fed into the computer can be text. Text means nothing, alphabets, number or statistics. This data stored in the computer memory cannot be used directly. It has to be processed. Yes, because from the beginning I told you data is a raw facts. So that has to be processed. So next we are going to see data processing. As the name itself you can understand the meaning. Raw data has to be processed by the help of CPU. Then that is called information. The data processing in a computer is collecting data and converting it into information according to our needs and requirements. So this is called data processing. There are 6 kinds of data processing available in computer. First, data collection. For example, if you're collecting the notebooks of your school students, so that is called data collection. Next is data storage, means storing the data. So next is data sorting. Sorting means what? Arranging the data in an order. So next one, for it may be any order, alphabetical order or seniority order, any order, that is called data sorting. So next one, the data processing. What is meant by data processing? Just now I have discussed. Data has to be converted by the help of CPU as information, that is called data processing. Next, data analysis. Data analysis means after the data processing, it has to be verified whether it is okay or not, that is called data analysis. So next one, data presentation means finally the output you will take, so that is called data presentation. Information means that processed data are called information. I hope you all understand this lesson clearly. So, and then now I am going to ask questions from you. DAS is an electronic device. You know very well, a computer is an electronic device. So next one, DAS belong to the generation 4th of the computer, microprocessor. So next one, data processing involves step 6. Just now we have seen data collection and data analysis, everything we have discussed just now. So totally there are 6 kinds of data processing are there. So next one, here they have given the correct statement and wrong statement. We have to find out whether it is which is a wrong one, which is a right one, we have to find. Abacus belongs to the first generation of the computer. Is this correct? No, because vacuum tubes are the first generation computer. ENIAC was used in the American military. Is this correct? Yes, you are correct. So statement 1 is wrong, but 2 is correct. Okay, match the following. Third generation computers were used integrated circuit. They have given the correct answer in the book itself, so no problem. So text and number is a combination of data. Transistor were used at second generation. Next, directly used. So we can use the information directly. Charles Babbage, who is the father of computer. Okay children, I hope you all understand this video. Thank you.